When the entire global economy collapsed in 2008, investors started questioning the value add of active management. In 2007, the world-famous investor Warren Buffett even bet that index funds like S&P 500 will beat active management funds in the course of 10 years. And guess what? He was right. With this underperformance of actively managed funds against index has resulted in the shift of investors from active to passive way of investment. While passive mutual funds have their own perks, ETFs gained more popularity over them due to their tradability, transparency, and low costs. So, which one is right for you? Mutual funds or ETFs? Let's start with the similarities first. Both mutual funds and ETFs are diversified baskets of securities such as stocks, golds, bonds, etc. In both instruments, people pool their money together and there is a fund manager who makes decisions on their behalf as to which stocks are to be added or removed to help you gain profits. While mutual funds are usually active, where a fund manager decides which stocks to invest in and when, an ETF almost always tracks an index, similar to index funds. They allow you to invest in popular indices like the Nifty 50, since the ETF will select the same shares as that in the index and in exactly the same proportion. Coming to the differences now, when it comes to liquidity, that is the ability to buy and sell fast, mutual funds usually take 1 to 3 days for the subscription and redemption to take place. While ETFs on the other hand can offer you instant liquidity as they are traded on the stock exchange, and also as liquidity can be created in ETFs easily by authorized participants using ETFs creation and redemption process. You can learn more about ETFs liquidity in our second video of this ETF education series. Next is exit loads, that is, the fees you pay if you take your money out before the fund's predefined time frame. Usually, some mutual funds charge you around 1% in case you take your invested amount within 1 year. But when it comes to ETFs, there is no exit load. ETFs never charges you and you can take your invested amount anytime you want. Now, we will talk about cash holding, that is, when a fund holds your money and doesn't invest in stocks. This might happen if there are many investors who want to buy a fund and there is too much cash for the fund manager to invest. So the fund manager holds the cash and waits for the right time to invest. In mutual funds, cash holding can be done if needed. With this, you are just paying the fund manager for holding your cash, which otherwise you can invest in FDs or some other instrument to earn returns. Cash holding often drags down the performance of mutual funds and your returns are also impacted by the same. In ETFs, there is no cash holding and all the money you invest is put to work to gain your returns. Also, in terms of transparency, ETFs is fairer than mutual funds. As ETFs holdings are published every day and you can see its value in real time, and also you can see the portfolio holdings on a daily basis. While in case of mutual funds, there is less transparency into holdings as mutual funds NAV is only available after the market is closed, and also the overall mutual fund portfolio is disclosed once in a month. Now comes the most important factor, that is the fees or the charges you pay while investing in these instruments. Mutual funds can be actively or passively managed, and most ETFs are passively managed. That is, the stocks in them are changed in a predefined time interval, usually 6 months. As the changes happen not actively, the trading and transaction charges of passive mutual funds and ETFs are usually less than active mutual funds. Amongst passively managed mutual funds and ETFs, the expense ratio of ETFs are way less than that of mutual funds. The main reason for that is there are no exit loads, and also there are low trading costs associated and no distributor and agent's commission in case of ETFs. Mutual fund expense ratio are usually in range of 1 to 2%, while that of comparable ETFs are around 0.3 to 0.6%. Expense ratios are the fees you pay to the AMC, and these charges are deducted on a daily basis, and it can impact your returns significantly in the long term. Just to give you a context, if you invest lump sum rupees 50,000 with a CAGR of 15% for 30 years, you will be paying 15 lakhs as fees if the expense ratio is 2%, and you will be paying rupees 2 lakh as fees if the expense ratio is 0.2%.